Today we have a fantastic topic. Yeah, good morning, Stanislava. Hope everything is good in Bulgaria. Oslam, good morning. Marlon, good morning. So let me start with one of my favorite, fruits, I would say. Tastes bitter, but is much better. And when I talk about Noni, I need to share something with you. Just recently, my daughter suffered from high-grade fever, and she is very prone to these respiratory tract infections. But we just put her on Noni for some time, and with only 1 day of heavy dose of Noni juice, the one that we have as Morinzhi, she was absolutely fine the next day, and she could attend school. That's how amazing this fruit juice is, and that is why I would love to talk something more about it, because the more I get to read about, I love to share things because everything amazes me. So before that, we start with a small video. So be sure that your volume's a little low, because the volume here of the video is a little high. And guess who is coming on screen? Is one of the most beautiful women on earth right now, an Australian, and she has something to share in an interview. So we'll just listen to her and then move on.
Okay, we're back. The next guest, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most beautiful women in the world, and she's Victoria's Secret's first Australian angel. Please welcome the lovely Morinda Kerr. Good God! You look fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes, you look so beautiful. That is an incredible dress you're...
Thanks.
And I have to ask you this last thing. Your beauty secret, I'm told, is, and a lot of women and men would be interested to hear your beauty secret, is something, you drink something called Noni juice?
Noni.
Noni?
Noni juice, yeah.
What is Noni juice?
It's a fruit actually originated in Tahiti, and it works on a cellular level to re-energize all the cells. And I actually have a skincare line that I made from Noni, but I drink it all the time as well.
Now, obviously, you're very beautiful naturally. If someone like me were to drink Noni juice, would anything happen? Well, no, seriously. I mean, yes. Would anything change? Would I become better looking, do you think, if I drank Noni juice? And be honest.
I mean, I think it would definitely help. You didn't let me finish. It would have helped.
No, that's fine, what you just said.
It would help with your energy level.
My energy level.
Yes.
I don't have problems with my energy level. The energy's off the charts. It's a little help up here would be nice. That's nice. I'm glad you let me down easy. Please.
So that's the secret for Morinda Kerr's beauty and wellness. And I also heard that she started drinking this Noni juice when she was 12 years old, and that was given to her by her grandmother. And this is why she believes in this natural way of maintaining your beauty and wellness. And she recently also delivered a baby boy, and the baby boy, and can you imagine, she did that through a natural delivery. She was on Noni juice and the other natural food supplements that she was taking. But the fact that she calls us this, herself as the Noni Queen, and if you look at her this page on the, I think so, this is a Twitter page or a Facebook page. Most probably it's a Twitter page of her own brand where she's promoting Noni, and you see how fascinated she is about this juice, because it's really given her something very, very special. There are many brands out there, and who are actually selling this Noni juice, because it's one of the secrets for these people who have to go through a lot of physical and mental stress. And this is the pollination secret which can help. the fear that we have is because these fruits are not available in the market, because they're not sweet and they don't taste good. They are more kind of these, these special medicinal category fruits. So we have we the new people are a little skeptic about whether we should take this fruit or no, how safe it is, and how much should I take. For that, I would like to share some pictures to let you know that how safe this fruit is. Because look at the birds enjoying. And I'm a staunch believer that nature and has the secrets to your wellness. And when you look at this bird, it's a Indian koel. It is gulping down the whole fruit. And look at the monkeys, look at the there's another bird, the bulbul. Look at the squirrel. They're all enjoying it, and this is enough proof. Look at the cock. Look at the bee that is going and sucking nectar from the noni flower itself. So this is enough for us to understand that this fruit juice is definitely going to be safe for us to drink. Then how did the Europeans and the world get to know about it? They say the story begins with this gentleman, Mr. Captain James Cook. And when he was assigned the task, when he was sent out to map the certain continents and find new places so that they could prepare the map, because by the time when he was still a navigator, a researcher who was finding out ways and means to find new lands, it is said that he used to travel so much, and a lot of scientists and people used to accompany him in his ship. And he used to write down these notes, like we have vlogs. He used to have his logs written. And in one of his travels, he found that these Polynesian islands, the natives there were very hooked up to this fruit, the noni fruit, and they were using it for everything, as a medicinal purpose, for healing, just a daily drink. And that really triggered. So for these people, for everyone who don't know what is Polynesia, I thought about putting down what exactly Polynesia region means. It means the region between Asia, North America, South America, Australia, all these continents. In between that, you'll find almost 1,000 islands that are scattered in the Pacific Ocean. And here in these islands, this is where they said that these aboriginals, the locals, they used to have this amazing secret or healing science where they could maintain their health and wellness for long. And that's how this fruit, the noni fruit, which we call Morinda citrifolia, has a history of almost 2,000 years. So if anybody even now has even little doubt as to whether it is safe for human consumption, how much should I take, please take that out, because from now I can guarantee you it's very, very safe for you to take. And there are lots and lots of books that have been written on this. There's a book of Diana Fairchild, in which she says noni, the aspirin of the ancients. The aspirin, now we know how powerful aspirin is as a blood thinner. It helps in prolonging life. It takes care of your pain. And many people are hooked to aspirin, but here we have a natural one. So it mimics. So there are many books that you can still find out if you want to know more about it. But if you pay close attention to this webinar, I like to make things very simple. And if you take a message from the content that I'm going to deliver, you might start actually not only helping yourself but helping a lot of people around. So what is this noni tree? If you look at this tree, is a middle-sized tree, a fruit-bearing tree that's, we can say, evergreen fruit-bearing tree, because every year 2-3 times you can have fruits on it. And this tree, as you have seen, is visited by a lot of birds and animals. They feed on this fruit. And actually, if you find one and if you're super excited and you pluck one and you want to grab a bite into it, I'm sure you'll spit out, because it's not so tasty. It's bitter. It's a little different in taste. It is known as the miracle tropical plant. Why? Because every part of this plant, from its roots, the stem, the leaves, the flowers, the fruit, everything was used in medicine in different ways. So noni as a plant is a complete medicinal plant, a miracle plant. The noni is the native Hawaiian name for the small the tree that I just showed you, and technically and scientifically we call it Morinda citrifolia. But now we know this tree because of its fruit. The fruit also has a very peculiar look. The trees grow vigorously. You can find them across India to Malaysia, Fiji Islands, and all those regions where the equatorial tropical belt. It has got different names in different places. I just want to bring to you to your notice this name. In the African and the Caribbean people, including the Vietnamese, they call it the painkiller tree, and that is really, really important. Nowadays, people are popping painkillers as if they're popping, like chocolates. So I think that we need a natural alternative for something that can relieve us of pain, and here is one thing that was called as a painkiller. And then we have, because of its cheesy feel, stinky smell, the Australians prefer to call it the cheese fruit. Yeah. And lot of things these people used to use, the natives there, they used to use the tree for various things, but primarily I believe it was used for medicine, and it was worshipped as a divine tree, and they say that it had the spirit to heal somebody of his illness. So what exactly happens is, during the fruiting season, the fruits are plucked by these people, the locals. They pluck the fruits, they collect it, and after collecting it, they actually smash it out. The reason being that they have to smash it to take out the juice, because this is the juice that they pack in bottles. In those days, probably they made it fresh, but now because people are scattered, they are not living in the jungles, no easy accessibility to tree, so everything is like packed in bottles and then little salt in it, and this becomes their daily drink, not only when they are sick, but even when they are healthy. To maintain their health, the natives, the locals, they keep on drinking this juice daily. That itself is a real good sign of how safe and how important it is to be taken every day. Ayurveda has mention of this, but not much. Here in Ayurveda, it is called as Ashuka. The word itself means longevity. Now, Morinda citrifolia, basically, according to Ayurveda, helps to reduce the the kapha element. The kapha element is made out of the water and the earth elements, and it helps to stabilize that. The heaviness in your body, the stiffness in your body. That's what kapha basically does. The second dosha that it works on is the pitta dosha. It helps the pitta to find its way out of the body. So the fire and the water elements in your body now start getting to decrease, and that's another good sign. That even if you have to explain it in terms of Ayurveda, I would say it actually helps the three doshas, all the three doshas, to balance them. So who can be given the credit of letting the whole world know about Noni is this Mr. Dr. Henike. Now, he was the foremost researcher on Noni. He spent almost 45 years researching about it and sharing to the world the amazing benefits of Noni. He wrote something, and I would like to read that out. You can see that on the screen too. It says, some of the problems which drinking Noni fruit juice might favorably affect are high blood pressure, menstrual cramps, arthritis, gastric ulcers, sprains, injuries, mental depression, senility, poor digestion, atherosclerosis, blood vessel problems, drug addiction, relief of pain, and many others. Although this list looks like a page torn out of a traveling medicine man's manual, it is probably conservative. So he knew that this fruit had the amazing secret, and he managed to pull out the active ingredient and let us know what it was, and he termed it zeronine. and he has the patent for it. Now, zeronine is the active ingredient that actually works. How does, and if you can see the fruit is actually loaded with the precursor of zeronine. So you can say the raw material through which the body can make zeronine is called prozeronine. That's loaded in this fruit. And along with this, the fruit also has an enzyme that can help the prozeronine to turn into zeronine. But here is the amazing thing. The same enzyme, the prozeronase, is also in our body. That is why, like a zigzag puzzle, when the prozeronine enters into our system, travels to the intestine. From the intestine, it actually gets migrated and sent by the hepatic vein to the liver. At the liver, where it is stored, it is kept ready so that when the body requires zeronine, it releases the zeronine, which is now being converted because of the the prozeronase, the enzyme that we have. And whenever the body requires any repair work, especially when there is protein damage, when the structure or functional damage is done to the protein, the zeronine can go in and can do the repair work. It's like a mason walking into your system every day to try to repair it. The wear and tear that we go through the whole day, the zeronine can repair it, and that is the most powerful action. This is why I stress on the fact that why is it necessary to take it every day? It's because of this, that it really helps in healing every day. Now, I'm sharing 3 research papers. There are lots and lots of research papers done just for this short webinar, because it gives us a validity that scientific studies are being done on this amazing fruit too. Now, here there was a study done on the anti-cancer activity of this Morinda citrifolia fruit, and here it was found that the mice had shown amazing benefits. Now, when you look, a portion of the injected mice were treated with Noni juice in 5 separate daily treatments. The Noni juice was shown to significantly increase the lifespan of the treated mice from 105% to 123%, with 9 of the 22 mice surviving for more than 50 days. Now, this seems to act indirectly by enhancing the host immune system, involving the macrophages and the lymphocytes. So there is some action within the body that is done by when you take the Noni juice that can help, and is a you can say a light at the end of the tunnel, that there is hope when you take good food like Noni in your diet, and when you're suffering from cancer, or even if you want to prevent one. Then this is a second study. This was done basically to see the effect of the Damnacanthal that was found in Morinda citrifolia on the RAS-transformed cells. Now, RAS is the primary factor that actually is said to be the causative or precursor for certain types of cancers. And Noni had been found to be very effective in actually inhibiting RAS function. And this is another promising sign why it can help cancer patients, or even people who want to prevent themselves from cancer. And the third study I would like to share is this one, which talks about the analgesic properties of Morinda citrifolia. When this study was done, excuse me, the findings validated that it is a natural painkiller, an analgesic. And this is very, very promising. So what are the health benefits of Noni juice? Because that's what we need to know. And here I'm going to list almost around 20 plus of them so that you know that how important it is. The first one is it helps in weight loss. Now, one of the benefits of Noni juice is that it can actually cause weight loss. This is because it produces nitric oxide inside the body. This nitric oxide is used by the muscles to metabolize a lot of energy. This energy is then pulled by the nitric oxide from different sources from the muscles, and that's when the fat cells start getting burnt out. Now this is why you feel very energetic. You automatically feel that your battery is charged up and you start losing weight. It's like an automated weight loss machine that you become. The second benefit of taking noni juice every day is that it can help lower your cholesterol levels, the bad cholesterol. Now dyslipidemia is usually characterized by elevated blood cholesterols, and this increases the risk of developing a cardiovascular disease. So research has proved that water based or ethanol based extracts of this fruit juice of noni can help to curb or bring down the levels of cholesterol and triglyceride levels. Now this is again a very promising sign for people who suffer from cardiac problems. For diabetics, okay, here is a promising fruit. While you take all other fruits, you should have a place for this fruit too, because this fruit, along with insulin treatments, is said to be very effective in controlling blood sugars. Right. So again, probably because of its bitter taste, bitter alkaloids that it has, the polysaccharides that it is rich in, it would be helping the bringing down the sugar levels. Noni, as I said, its primary action is on your intestines, your liver. It improves your functions, body functions, but here it can improve your digestion. Now this means that it actually can help in conditions where you suffer from constipation by acting as a laxative, right? And it can also help people who have these loose motions, suffer from IBS, by helping form stools. So both ways it helps. It can also help in relieving gases and stomach aches. So fantastic for improving digestion. So I always suggest this should be one of the juices that you should give your children, because they usually suffer from digestive problems. They have lack of appetite. The fifth is that noni juice, drinking noni juice can help prevent cancer, stroke. Now consumption of noni juice is said to help act like the aspirin effect, I just told you about. It would prevent these cells from clogging together or forming these clots, and that is why it can improve and better the circulation. And this is a promising thing because it can help people who are prone for stroke or who already have suffered from stroke to prevent another episode of stroke. Sixth is noni juice. Regular consumption of noni juice, Morinda citrifolia juice, can help act like an analgesic and has some sedative components into it also. So because of the combination of having a painkiller and a sedative together, natural elements, it really helps to relieve pains, especially pains due to menstrual cramps, arthritis and other joint pains, or any inflammatory condition. Here you have a natural painkiller. So for all those people who pop in a painkiller pill, I think you should switch on to Morinzhi. Then cancer, we all know, is when these cells, they get abnormal and they stop dying and they start just multiplying and have a completely abnormal function. And this is where noni can help, because as I showed you, there are enough evidence that this fruit juice, which is rich in polysaccharides, can help suppress the growth of new cancer cells, right? It also is said to help reduce the oxidative stress and also boost the immune systems to fight these abnormal cells that form tumor in your body. So again, to prevent yourself from cancer, or if you suffer from cancer, you have a juice that you sure can rely on drink every day. The eighth amazing benefit of drinking this juice is it increases your energy levels. Now this juice basically boosts your energy levels. It improves your ability to perform physical activities. The native Polynesians often consume this noni juice just to avoid fatigue and increase their physical energy levels, This is largely due to the fruit's natural antioxidant properties. Now, this property strengthens the cells and wards off any ailment that you would possibly get, prone to. So this is again a fantastic sign. For your eyes, we know that through aging we have cataracts, but now if you look at the lifestyle and things, cataracts have been started to form very early because of the high sugar levels in the blood. And here you have something that can really help the to prevent or reduce the cataract formation of your eyes and keeping your lens clear. So not only cataract, even people who have these optical lenses, or the people who have these numbers for which they use these lenses, I think these people also can benefit. And if you have a combination along with RGGL, that's Organoderma, and Spirulina, and you take Noni, Morinzhi, fantastic. It will be a fantastic combination for your eyes. Okay. Noni's effect on preventing ulcers is amazing. Scientific research has shown that this juice has the ability to prevent even gastric lesions and ulcers. Now, a lot of people suffer from gastric ulcers, duodenal ulcers, and here you have a juice that can help you. It decreases the amount of acid that's being secreted in the stomach, and also increases the mucus protective lining of the stomach. And this is where it is really beneficial in preventing ulcers. So even if you have these small ulcers popping up inside your inner side of your lips, you should know there's some deficiency inside your system, and you need something that can act as an anti-inflammatory agent, and that's when you can really consume a lot of Noni juice. Liver, I told you how the zeronine is stored up in the liver to be used up when needed. Now, diabetes usually has an adverse effect on your liver. Now, this leads to a lot of risk of the liver turning like fatty liver, or there could be a lot of scarring. Noni juice, besides controlling your blood sugar levels, it also reduces fatty degeneration in the liver cells. Now, this is really important. We saw how it helps to burn fat. So wherever there is fat, because of its action of burning down the fat, it really helps in cleaning up the liver, because liver usually tends to be loaded with fat and gets blocked with that. And here you have drinking Noni juice can really help. So all those people who are alcoholics, chronic alcoholics, you better, along with your drinks, take a new drink every day. That's with Noni juice. Wound healing. Yes, it's a natural phenomenon, but there are some ingredients in your diet that can be added that can help this work much better. Again, when your sugar levels are high, your wound healing is poor, Noni juice actually helps down to bring your sugar levels, and thus helps in healing wounds. So all those diabetic people who have the tendency of having these diabetic ulcers, better start taking Noni juice. Now, Noni juice is also preventive, especially in preventing degenerative diseases. Now, these degenerative diseases are when the cells, they start dying or wearing off. Usually you see them in your joints, where you have degeneration of your bones. Then you have neurological degenerations, where you suffer from conditions like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, where these are all degenerative conditions. And Noni basically prevents the early death of your cells, actually prolongs your life. That's why it acts as an anti-aging. So it can basically help in preventing degenerative diseases. So everybody who is above 40, for prevention, should be taking every day Noni juice. People with high blood pressure caused due to stress, strain, disease, or any other condition should also use a natural antidote like Noni juice every day, because it really helps. Now, this has been studied and proved that there are some ingredients in Noni juice that can help this to be achieved. There are said to be scopoleptin, then prozeronine, and tryptophan, that they all together work to bringing down your blood sugar levels. It also helps in boosting up your memory. Now, there are presence of some phytosterols in this fruit. It helps in preventing blood vessels from absorbing extra cholesterol. Now, this in turn, what happens is the circulation of the blood with adequate oxygenation now is moving around every part, and every cell receives a good amount of oxygen. Now, with oxygen, with good cleansing, these cells now become more active, especially your brain cells. So you definitely become are able to not lose your memory, because there is no cell death, less, or you can say the amount of cell death is low. So again, it's fantastic for children also, and people who are prone for neurological degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's or any other form of dementia. Noni is also very beneficial for arthritis, and I say that specifically arthritis because arthritis is an autoimmune condition, and Noni can really help in these inflammatory conditions of arthritis. In the olden days, people used to tie a poultice made out of crushed leaves, and they apply that, boil it up, put it into a poultice and apply that on your joints for better effect, for as a painkiller and also for healing. But here you can actually just consume it internally. It also really helps. 17, it helps in dealing with menstrual issues. And here, if you remember what Morinda said, her grandmother started her on the Noni juice when she was 12, probably because her grandmother knew that menstruation, when the menarche starts, that's the age where you should start this juice for children, especially your girl child. And that's where, if you see the whole thing, the essence of a woman is the regular cycles, regular 28-day menstrual cycles. To get that going, you need something that needs to actually start working and balancing your hormones to do that. And here you have Noni juice that can achieve this. Now, there is also a lot of study done and a lot of testimonials of people, women who were pregnant, and they actually, were prone for this induced bleeding and even miscarriage. And when they were started on Noni juice, they found amazing results. So again, even in pregnancy, it is really, really helpful for a pregnant woman to take. And Morinda, as I said, she delivered her son. She did not go on any kind of painkillers, even during her pregnancy period where she was about to deliver, and she delivered a very healthy child. And she actually, in an interview, said that it is all because she maintained a good diet during her pregnancy and did yoga too. Noni juice actually is a natural remedy for anxiety, stress, and depression. Now, these trio are set to accompany everybody now. If you're a student, you're working, anything in life, these three are there. And the low levels of serotonin in the body, which actually can lead to mood swings, anxiety disorders, and depression, is the reason for that. Now, melatonin is yet another hormone which is quite essential to keep the balance and your circadian rhythm. Now, you remember just recently a group of scientists have been given a Nobel Prize for their research on the importance of the biological clock and how the body works that biological clock. And here we have Noni juice that can actually help you do that. So it can change, it can stimulate your system so that you regain back your biological rhythm and have a good sleep and be stress-free, relax easily. And here you have, for any psychological conditions, another amazing fruit juice. Now, along with this, I said it's very good for your eyesight. And here, not only cataract or glaucoma, anything to do with your eyes, you have something that can really help, and that is Noni juice. So better give it to your children before they go wearing specs, because they could not see. So definitely start early in children. Noni juice is found to have amazing antibacterial properties. Probably that is why it is one of the best choices when you have some infection directly popping up an antibiotic. I think you should first 1 or 2 days try on Noni juice. As I always suggest, if your child catches a fever or you have a fever, your body is fighting that infection. If you support it with natural supplements like Noni juice, the body will win over this infection and you would not need an antibiotic course. So amazing benefit with Noni juice. It is very effective even in maintaining your oral health, because this mucosa is where a lot of bacteria and these thrive. So again, it can really help. So use it as a mouth gargle. I always say, when you take the juice, just don't pop it down your throat. Slush it around in your mouth. Let your gum feel it, let your teeth feel it, and let it travel across. It's like applying an application to your internal mucosa, and then you can drink it inside. Then the next property or benefit of Noni juice is that it can help you sleep like a baby, because I believe babies do not sleep with stress. They're stress free, and like this one that you see on screen, and Noni can do that. Noni actually has helped a lot of people who were struggling with sleep to now sleep better, because if you see, it has got these natural sedatives in it, and that's where the body relaxes and calms down and shuts down itself. Skin. Now, if you remember what Morinda Kerr said, her skin is flawless because she has been consuming Noni juice for years. Now, she has a range of products that she applies on the skin. So skin is where Noni juice has a very important function, because skin goes through wear and tear always. And as I told you, Noni juice has these enzymes or elements that actually work like masons to go and repair the damage that has been done. So for any skin problems that you have, or any skin condition, could be acne, pimples, rough and dry skin, even dark spots on your skin, vitiligo, anything to do with your skin, you should definitely go on Noni juice, because it is really loaded with vitamin C, and that is its primary ingredient. That's why it helps your heart and your skin too. It's got anti-aging effect. Now, that's because it's loaded with antioxidants. It can fight these free radicals, reverse the aging, caused because of pollution and all those things, because of the diet and the lifestyle, and maintain the elasticity of your skin. This is where it really works. So you can actually apply the juice, if you can, the fruit juice on your skin as an applicant, and you'll see amazing benefits on your skin. Here, now the next point that I'm showing is very important. It acts as anti-inflammatory. Now, the benefits of an anti-inflammation, because we think inflammation is only when you have an injury or something. No, inflammation of a cell is the reason for all the disease that we suffer from. All could be cancer, could be a cardiovascular condition, could be your Alzheimer's disease, your pulmonary disease, your arthritis, autoimmune diseases, neurological diseases, even diabetes, is because of cellular inflammation. And here you have a juice that actually can reduce the cellular inflammation, and hence, you call it a miracle fruit or whatever you want to, because one fruit is healing every condition, because primarily it is actually trying to take care of one basic situation, that is your inflammation. And hence I suggest that any condition you have, you should go on Noni juice. Could be your teenage acne and pimples that you're suffering from, or irregular menses. You definitely need to start taking Noni juice or Morinzhi. It can also help prevent hair loss. Now again, the scalp that holds the hair is again basically the holding job is done by proteins. So even you have protein damaged out, your body tends to now not produce more proteins. So either you have not a good hair growth, or even you have hair fall. So taking Noni juice internally or applying it externally also helps, because Noni juice has also helped to take care of dandruff and lice. So even the leaf juice was crushed and that was applied on the skin, because it was like a natural cure for lice and dandruff. So a very good option you have here. And one benefit that I think I need to mention especially is the benefit of Morinzhi or Noni or Morinda Citrifolia on irritable bowel syndrome, because I know a lot of people suffer from this condition and they really suffer. And here we have something like Noni that can help these, because it can take care of the mucosal inflammation, the polysaccharides, the you can say the alkaloids within Noni have the healing ability to actually take care of the ulcers that are formed in irritable bowel syndrome, and that's a good sign. And finally, it works by giving your immune system the necessary ingredients so that it can work better. Now, we know all our immune system is different places. It works like we have the tonsils and the adenoids that are a part of the immune system, the thymus, the spleen, the Peyer's patch in your intestines, then you have the bone marrow, appendix, your lymph nodes. All these, we think they are insignificant organs, but they are the primary source of your WBCs or your army cells that actually go and fight infections. And you need something that can help boost these organs, because they are physical organs that can actually produce good immune cells that can fight various conditions into your body. And this is probably the secret. So drink the juice. If you can find the fresh fruits, you can definitely drink the juice and have it every day. With DXN, we have Morinzhi, which is specially formulated from this Morinda citrifolia. And here, what DXN has done is amazing. It has combined it with roselle. Roselle is rich in vitamin C. It's really rich in other minerals, but here it's rich in vitamin C. And we all know how vitamin C is one of the most powerful vitamins that can help fight any condition. Now, when we have a combination of Morinzhi, that's Morinda citrifolia, with roselle, you have the most amazing combination. So you're loaded with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. So feel free to make yourself a nice juice, at least 30 to 50 ml, 3 times a day. That's my suggestion. If you like it, you can gulp the whole bottle, but it is the best thing. You can always take the smaller doses every day, and really amazing to taste. Children, if they like the taste of Morinzhi, they just fall prey to it and they will finish the whole bottle, just like a Pepsi or a Coke. And that's a good sign, fantastic thing to do. So that's all from me in terms of Noni, and I believe that this Morinzhi that we have can actually, along with Ganoderma and Spirulina, can become one of the primary things that we can actually share with people through DXN to help a lot of people who are suffering from so many deficiency disorders. If we can just save somebody's life through sharing this information, telling them about this product, don't feel shy. Go and talk about it, because these are amazing secrets of nature, and we have to pass it on. And I believe you all those 27 people who are listening to me now, and this webinar will be recorded and it will come back. So you definitely need to share this with more people, bring more people into the DXN system, because I believe right now DXN is the only system that has one of the widest range of natural herbs and supplements that we can actually share to a lot of people. So thank you again. It was a pleasure to spend almost 50 minutes with you all, and good to see a lot of people here. Any questions I'm ready to take for the next 5 minutes or so? You can just type down your questions and let me see if I can answer. So we have Pooja joined in. Good morning. Vicky, good morning. Nathan, good morning. Okay, great. So no questions? So hope you like the webinar, and finally I need to say goodbye, because it's almost 11 p.m. here in India, and most of the people in India have also joined. Yeah, I'm going to continue these webinars every Saturday at 10 p.m. IST. Be sure that you mark your calendars for at least 45 minutes or 1 hour. I'll share something that I spend hours to read and research and bring down in more easiest form so that you can get to know many more things that are available out there that we can change our lives and many more lives with. So thank you so much and good morning.